What's going on, Giants fans? Welcome back to another episode of G Nation live call-in show. Already have two people on the stream. Thank you guys for popping in. I'm gonna pop you on in just a second. Today, I wanted to talk about the reason I'm wearing this shirt. Uh, our Giants pride has been restored. We have some guys in the building that can get it done, and I believe that this year we're gonna have a whole lot to cheer for. So, without further ado, I'm gonna let the guys that have called in have been waiting patiently. I'm gonna let them guys pop in, and we're gonna commence with the Giants talk right here on G Nation. What's going on, Joe? What's going on, Nate?
Oh man, preach, baby. Talk about it.
How you guys
Talk
doing?
about it.
I've already watched like two Eagles videos today, so I thank God I'm on here. Oh, thank you, Lord.
Oh man, listen, I don't care about the Eagles' opinion. Um, Eagles fan opinion to me is like an asshole. Everybody's got one. Um,
They all stink.
but I'm just excited about this season, man. And I've heard a lot of the stuff that people have been saying, Eagles fans in particular, and Dallas Cowboy fans, about how they fleeced us in the draft and all this ridiculousness. But honestly, man, I think Joe Judge is is cut from the same cloth as Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick, and those guys. And I believe that he has brought a culture back to this building and this organization of fight, of team unity, of team first, and doing your job. And these guys have bought in. Um, I'm hearing great things about what the offensive linemen have been doing in the off season, working out with specialists, learning different positions, becoming more of an asset to the team, putting the team first, which means that they've put their ego aside, which is what you need for a team sport. Let's not forget, football is the ultimate team sport. So I'm impressed with Joe Judge. I'm excited for the season, and I think that yes, he can bring us back to greatness and probably bring us two more Lombardi trophies, if not three or four. So, what do you guys think?
Want to go first, show?
Nah, go ahead. I'd like to hear what you got to say, boss.
Honestly, Joe Judge is probably one of the I've probably been through now two terrible coaches in Ben McAdoo and Pat Shermer,
Yo,
so that's
man.
already done with. But now Joe Judge is probably going to be probably one of the best coaches in the NFL. He's not no Doug Peterson. He's just going to win one Super Bowl. That means winning multiple Super Bowls with the Giants, and that's
You
where we're
know,
at.
if people really want to talk about who got fleeced, let's talk about who the Giants fleeced. We fleeced Jacksonville when we took Tony. 'Cause that came out publicly. They wanted him. Now let's talk about how the Giants traded up in the third round, blew everybody's mind to pick up Aaron Robinson. Everybody wanted that kid. The Eagles
The
were
Eagles,
mad. The Cowboys were mad. There
the
was a
Eagles.
lot of teams that we jumped that wanted that kid. So now, like you were saying, Nate, we got depth. We got pride back once again. We all know what this team's capable of doing. And the only team that's going to beat us is the Giants itself.
That's right.
There's no other reason why we lose games this year outside of the guys losing it themselves.
And also, I have a
We,
thing to talk about. What an idiot Ben McAdoo is. Goes to the Cowboys for a job that is not even worthless of
hey,
doing.
they can have him.
Hey, listen, I'm not gonna knock the man to feed his family. I don't know what he's been doing this whole time since we canned him. I was glad we canned him, but at the end of the day, every man is entitled to the right to make a living. So uh, kudos for him. We know what he's about. There's plenty of film on what his offense is about, and from what I'm hearing, he's just being hired on as a consultant. So let him consult away and give his poor advice. It's only going to benefit us because the Cowgirls don't stand a chance with their second string backup quarterback at the helm, which is Dak Prescott, because he's just an overhyped backup quarterback. He's won nothing in this league. He's 5-11 against teams that are 500. Uh, the guy's trash, but he plays for America's team, so they're gonna get an American butt whooping when they play us, a giant butt whooping, or old
In my
school
opinion, Ben
Madison
McAdoo is
Avenue
always
Giants butt whooping.
Ben McAdoo has always just been just a great play caller, not a good coach. And I can't believe
Listen,
people actually thought he was a good coach.
He was a good
McAdoo.
offensive coordinator. That was it.
How was he a good coordinator? Because McAdoo was with McCarthy and Green Bay and had Rodgers and only won one title.
Yeah, so
You
maybe it
know,
was
he
the Aaron Rodgers and the team that he had that made him look like a good coordinator. Good point.
Coughlin made him look good, but Reese made everybody look bad.
Let me say
So,
this: great play caller, not good coordinator. Let me just say, good
well,
caller, not a good coordinator.
I guess you could say he is. I mean, I don't know because I think we had so much more potential under Coughlin when McAdoo was here.
Yeah,
Because if you look at what Kevin Gilbride did when they let him go, and the offense just did a complete 180, in my opinion. I mean, okay, yeah, we went 11-6, but we should have been beating bad teams by 10, 15 points. We're doing that. It
Yeah,
was
we
all
never
he
addressed
liked coming back.
we never addressed the offensive line after Deal and Snee and O'Hara,
Right.
and we never replenished that defensive front neither after Pierre Paul and Justin Tuck and all that. You know, because after Tuck left and Pierre Paul blew off his finger and part of his thumb,
Yep.
he had to play with a glove on, and we went and got Olivier Vernon, who was fresh off of an injury, who then got injured. So I
Yep.
mean, you know, it was he never really addressed it with young, fresh talent. He tried to throw some band-aids on a broken defense, and he just did a poor job as a general manager. I think the first Super Bowl that we won under his regime was Ernie Accorsi's doing. I think you
Yep.
said the other day as well. I think he just stepped in and earned that off of Accorsi, much like John Gruden did getting that Super Bowl off of Tony Dungy.
Yes. Yes.
So, but yeah, I just think everybody wants to kill Gettleman, but I think he's done a good job. He's turned this team around in a rather quick amount of time, considering what he walked into, what he had, and what he was able to do.
Well, that and dealing with the with Tish and Mara too. You know, Tish was or Mara was bound and determined to keep Eli around as long as possible. You know, and we don't know if the rumors are true that McAdoo wanted to trade up and get Mahomes. Now, chances are, I'm thinking McAdoo did want to trade up and get a quarterback. Whether it was Mahomes or not, I don't know. Was it, the year before? Did he want somebody? I don't know.
Yeah, but benching Eli Manning for Geno Smith is
yeah,
just
that was
retarded. I
He
don't
knew
care
you. Yeah,
what.
but he knew he was gone, so that was just a big fu to everybody and all the Giants fans. He knew he wasn't coming back next year. He lost the team. And then Shepard coming out saying McAdoo didn't do conditioning or strength training drills or anything like that. I'm going to lose.
No wonder everybody got hurt in one game.
Yeah, but you're not seeing that with this team no more.
No, he's got them guys doing stretches and warm ups and learning about soft tissue damage and all that stuff.
How to tackle properly.
Yeah.
When you
How
teach the
long to
little things.
rehab? How long to rest after a strenuous workout? How just knowing your body, what signs to watch for. He's
Yes,
teaching them boys from the head coach on down, and he's hired a coaching staff that are teachers that understand that people learn differently, so they're tailoring their teaching towards each player. Which is phenomenal.
and not only that, but we've got depth behind our coaches. If you think about it, and our coaches decide that they want to try a different position on another team, we've got a guy right behind them that knows the system, knows what Judge wants to do, and he can just replace that person and then
That's
bring
right.
in somebody underneath that guy.
Because we got
Is
Russ
26
Callaway and
coach?
Freddie Kitchens. So if Jason Garrett screws up, it'll be an easy transition to just slide
Right.
somebody else in
I
laterally.
actually have a take that it's going to happen. Garrett's not being back next year.
I hope
But
not.
Callaway's probably going to slot in. He's going to be right there. He's probably going to take the job.
I didn't agree with the hire at all, but I think that they did it more of insurance policy to
Yep.
make sure that if Judge failed, they'd have a contingency plan there.
Yes.
I think that's more of what that was a John Mara move because of uh, Garrett's affiliation with the Giants in the past. So I think that's what that was. I don't think that was a judge move. I
You
think that
know,
was a John Mara and Gettleman agreeing and giving the go ahead, since showing that they might not have been 100% sold on Judge.
well, now that we have the team, though, and the team has been bad for so long, and I mean, some of these guys don't even know what a winning season is that are on this team. I don't think we've had a winning season with, well, Engram might have been on there. Shepard was on there when we won 11-6 and into the playoffs. I mean, look at the guys that we only have playoff experience. We don't have that many. So, look, even though we're all hyped and everything, mistakes are going to be made. And it's limiting those mistakes that's going to lead to this team winning the NFC East championship.
Call in,
That's what
Matt.
it's coming down to. Hey, Mac, there's no other thing to look at now. We have the pieces, we have the coaches, we have the staff, we have everything's in place. Go out and buy a Daniel Jones jersey because at the end of this year, halfway through the year, that price is going to go up.
So better get them
That's
now.
serious. That's why
Yeah,
I bought one.
You say you went and got one.
Yeah, I got a Daniel Jones jersey.
They about 100 right now, right? 120, something like that.
Yeah, about
They'll,
like that. I mean, a
they'll be
Barkley
like
one was.
250. They'll be like 250 come December.
Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen too. Everyone's going to be shelling out money for them.
And
Everybody knows what
me
we
and Logan
do.
were talking about this earlier. We said Saquon's the one comeback player of the year.
Listen,
I already got his jersey. I got his jersey when we drafted him. That's my boy right there. I love Saquon.
yeah,
I
but it
think
came out.
me and Logan said this. He's gonna have 1,000 yards, and me said 500 passing yards.
No, he's not going to come back until week 4 or week 5 full time.
He's still gonna get it because the Eagles' defense sucks.
I know the Eagles' defense sucks. There's a lot of defenses that suck out there, but they're not going to give him.
The Eagles' defense is a bunch of senior citizens on that defensive line. You got
Saquon somehow beats
Graham,
Washington.
Cox, and Kerrigan.
Hey,
These guys all meet up at K&W, at Canes and Walkers to eat.
But the first 4 weeks, they're not going to give Barkley any workload. They're going to make sure that knee is healthy. They're not going to risk him at all. They're not going to take a Judge is not going to. No.
Oh yeah,
not
no.
let you do it.
I don't. Yeah, no. Because
No,
Judge
so
actually.
He's not playing in the preseason, so he's not going to get any reps there. And then weeks 1 through 4, maybe he gets 5 carries each game. Let's see how you do. Maybe a couple swing passes. That's why we drafted that running back in the 6th round.
You're signed not, Corey Clement.
Yep. We got depth at running back position.
Raquel Armstead as well.
Full time starting until week 5, maybe even week 6. They're just not going to take that chance. He's too much of a talent. Judge knows it.
I'm just worried that they try to get rid of him. I'm like, good God, man.
If they kept Ingram, they're not going to get rid of Saquon.
Please don't keep Ingram, please.
I said if they're keeping him this year, they're going to keep Barkley around for a couple more years, maybe extend him. But here's the problem, and I tweeted this earlier: the Giants are at $202 million in cap next year, and they raised the cap.
The ceiling is only 208. Yep.
Yes. Now let's keep in mind that people want to cut Shepard. You're going to save $6 million there, but that's also counting out that Ingram's not on the team next year either, I believe.
Yeah, that's
so all the 1-year
too.
deals, huh?
That's another $6 million if we get rid of Ingram.
Well, I don't know. I think that's included because isn't this his 5th-year option for Ingram?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not even going to be on the team next year. So we've got $6 million to work with right now. You cut.
Yeah, but I think we're not signing anyone next year.
But you got to re-sign Peppers.
Oh yeah.
All right. What about
Daniel
Hernandez?
Jones will be coming up on a re-signing. Saquon Barkley will be coming up for a re-signing.
Hernandez is coming up. This is his 4th year.
Yep.
What are we going to do next year? We're going to be looking for another guard.
That's true.
This is all the stuff that's why I said at the beginning of the season, I don't know how they're doing this, how they're going to re-sign these guys. So look, let's say at the halfway point, if we're 6-2, okay, and the trade deadline comes up, we're playing really good ball. You gonna trade Peppers for a second rounder? You gonna trade Hernandez for a second, third rounder? You gonna trade Ingram for a second or third rounder? You know, look at all these guys. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna get the draft picks and trade them now because it's gonna be hell to sign them at the end of the
I'll
year
trade
and keep them
Ingram.
on the team? They're gonna be free agents. You can't put the tag on them because we don't have the money.
We got the Wizard. We have Kevin Ingrams. We have the Wizard.
Kevin
You know what?
Abrams.
Abrams.
Oh
He's
no,
a
I said
wizard,
Abrams. You guys probably didn't hear me because my thing went in and out.
but I don't care who you are. You could be Donald Trump for all that matter.
No,
You
yeah,
ain't
we already
stretching
backloaded
six,
a lot of contracts this year that's going to hurt us next year. So
but it's only next year.
there's only
The
so much
following year,
wizardry you can do, regardless of who you are. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, we got a lot of guys that are, there's 3, 4, and 5 guys that aren't going to be here next year.
I think Logan Ryan is one of them.
Logan Ryan's got another year left. This is his second year out of a 3-year deal.
Yep.
But
So-
if McKinney comes out, do you trade him? You get a second, third rounder for him. But we're 6-2. We got a chance to go to the playoffs. Do you keep them and lose that equity, or I hate to be Debbie Downer, but this is something nobody's talked about.
Damn,
Yeah,
horrible.
I hate talking about it, but it is what it is, and this is what we're looking at next year. So next year we're getting rid of these guys, so we got to look at a guard. We got to look at another offensive lineman again. So we're going to be talking next year after we win the Super Bowl. Who's going to be our right guard because Hernandez isn't here? We got to look at safeties. It's supposed to be a deep safety class, but again, so we've got these extra guys.
So you think we will not have Jabril Peppers nor Evan Ingram and possibly Barkley as well?
Barkley will be here next year. This is his 4th year. We picked up his 5th-year option.
Okay.
So we have him next year.
Barkley will be here.
7.5. So
Right.
7.5.
Shepard will be gone. Ingram will be gone. Those you could probably guarantee
Logan
because
Ryan.
Tony. I said he's got another year left on his contract.
This year.
I don't know what it would be to cut him, but
The only thing I think they're gonna do is just try to clear money for Jabril.
how are you going to clear $12 million when you only got 6, and then you got to sign the draft class from the following year, and we have extra picks, so that's going to cost even more money.
So we do Ingram. That'll save us
Ingram's
money.
already not on the contract next year. This is his last year.
No, I mean we trade him in season.
But he doesn't count towards the cap at all next year anyway. That 202 is without Ingram.
So what are our trades for Logan Ryan?
We're trading Logan Ryan. Yeah, but you know what? You might only get $6 million from him.
We have McKinney and Peppers. They'll be our safeties.
Next year?
We'll probably have Xavier, McKinney, and Jabril. They'll be our safeties.
Well, we got Love under contract. Get rid of Peppers. Get a 1st or 2nd rounder for him.
No, I'm gonna put the stream in the chat, guys. Keep going.
That's
We have too many. We have too many safeties.
well, but that's what I'm saying. That's what we're running into. Everybody wants to bring in all these other players this year, and it's like, look, we finally have some continuity. We're finally getting some strength and some depth, but we're losing a lot of pieces next year.
Damn, I just realized that.
Yeah. I hate saying this because everybody's ecstatic, but you know what? It's not next year yet. Hey, Rick. So it's this year. This is what we're going in with. But when Judge is going to make roster decisions, he's going to be deciding with next year in mind. Who to keep on the practice squad? Who can we keep on the practice squad so that somebody else won't sign them, but we can build them, get them ready for next year? But that's why we've been going cornerback and safety heavy in the draft the last couple of years. Because they know that this comes up. This is what New England does. But if we don't re-sign Peppers next year, everybody's going to get livid. Even though we got Love on a deal that's going to be way cheaper than Peppers next year. So we got McKinney back there. We got Love back there. Peppers is gone. But we still got depth because we have other players, other pieces. We've still got young talent on this team.
And I just realized this: Aaron Robinson can't play. He can play safety.
Miz says that's part of how the NFL works, guys.
It is, Miz, isn't it? Every year it's something different. You've got that cap. We spent all that money this year to make sure that we had the team. That's why, for me, we have to. Our Super Bowl is going to be win the division, have a playoff game at home, win the playoff game. To me, that's a Super Bowl season.
Hey, if we can make it that far right now with what we have in place and all the rookies and all these young guys, that'll be great. Even if we lose after we win a playoff game and lose the next one, that'll give us a great lesson.
Yes.
It'll be a lot of learning lessons in there for these young guys, and it'll give them great momentum and morale going into the following
playoff game. I'll be happy. If that offensive line plays a playoff game,
it'll suck that we won't win a Super Bowl, but I will be happy and proud of this team's progression because we went from what was it, 5-11, 4-12 or something like that to
but
6-10 to if we go to the playoffs this season, then that's leaps and bounds. I'm happy.
We have hope for next year because we don't have Peppers. Okay, we don't have Hernandez. But we got 2 first-round picks. We're going to replace those guys. We got 2/3. We're going to replace these guys. We got 2 fourths. So it's not like, look, I don't want to see Peppers gone. But when you're 26, 27, is it worth giving a guy a 4-year deal for $20 million a year? And then he's in his 30s, and now you're looking at getting rid of him again. Unfortunately, this is how the NFL works too. It's what can you do for me today and tomorrow, not yesterday. Now, while he's a fan favorite, he's a team leader. He's the guy that everybody wants on his team. Unless he's willing to work out a contract and maybe, I don't know. I don't know how that contract stuff works.
Call in, guys. You're welcome to call in and join the New York Football Giants conversation. You're welcome to call in, guys.
Jump in. So even though
as soon as I said it.
Yeah, there's Adam. There's my guy.
Oh, what's up, man?
What's going on, Adam?
He corrects me when I need it. I love him. So, don't be depressed that we're going to be losing guys. I mean, if you look at New England, how many times did you hear people in New England complain because they're not re-signing these guys, but they go to the damn Super Bowl every year? It's how a winning team works. You get young talent, you don't overpay for it, and you get draft capital in the end. That's the way winning teams work.
Yeah. You get the best out of them when they're rookies and then trade them off, get some draft picks out the deal, and
right.
What's up, Adam?
How you doing? What are you guys discussing?
Well, I was just talking about the guys that we're going to be losing next year because the cap came out. Now, while it is at $208 million guaranteed next year, the Giants are sitting at $202 million. Now, with only $6 million in cap space, we have extra draft picks. So we're going to require more money to be free to sign those draft picks. So where are we going to do? I mean, okay, we can cut Shepard, but there's not too many guys we're going to be able to get rid of. So re-signing Peppers, if Engel balls out, maybe re-signing him, re-signing Hernandez. There's a couple other guys that I'm forgetting. So it's like these guys aren't going to be here. So let's say the Giants went 6-2. And it's, trade deadline week. Do you trade Peppers for draft capital, or do you keep the team together and try to go all the way?
hard choice to make because if you keep them right and you let's say go all the way, you're 6-2, you have a winning record, and they
Right.
walk because some other team has more money. Now you have nothing for them, right? You'll get a comp pick, whatever how many guys leave if the comp formula works, right?
Right.
Or you get rid of them and you keep stacking. I think what they will do is they will reevaluate and jettison some players to fill that gap. Remember, the more draft capital they get, the more guys they're going to replace. Because I heard the rumor that they're going to be like 40 guys that they're going to be, off the team next year or something like that, or some crazy number that they're going to have. So they're going to need to replenish a lot of their players. So
well, yeah, see, because they're right now we're sitting at 202 million.
Yep.
Against the cap, and the ceiling of the cap is going to be 208.
Yep.
So I mean, we only got 6 million of wiggle room there. So even if we cut Shep, that saves us what, another 6. So we really can't do too much with 12. So there's gonna be some cutting going on, whether we like it or not.
Well, they're going to restructure some contracts, hopefully. Ask maybe Martinez and Bradbury if they want extensions and say, hey, listen, we want you on this team longer. Do you want an extension to kind of give us help? It depends on what they're doing.
I believe most of these guys will do it because they've bought in. You've seen guys taking pay cuts in the offseason and restructuring their contracts. They believe in what Joe Judge is trying to build here, and they've bought in. I think a lot of guys are willing to take a pay cut. I mean, we saw Tom Brady take a pay cut in New England multiple times to re-sign players. So, I mean, I think he's bringing that same type of mentality, that same type of culture where it's team first. And I think the guys have bought in, and you'll see numerous players make sacrifices to stay on this team.
But real quick, though, this will be the third time that Bradbury and Martinez have restructured their contracts with the Giants if you do it again the next year.
Oh, yeah, they probably won't be. They
haven't restructured yet. So
willing to do it again.
This would be the first time they restructure. The question becomes, do they want to stay? Because they have a 3-year deal, so they want to obviously test the free agent market, right? So their deal would be in the 3rd year of their deal next year. So you either tell them, hey, we'll keep you, or we won't, and you'll stay here the year, and then they can walk after that. It depends on what they want. Now,
I thought they did that this year, though. Didn't they, Adam?
I don't think they restructured Bradbury.
Or was it just talk of?
I think it was Nate Solder that they restructured.
Yeah, Nate Solder and Isaac Yadam restructured.
Yeah, Isaac Yadam, more like Isaac, get the heck out of here.
Okay.
So, but what I'm saying is, we'll see.
They're going to cut Yadam, and it's going to be, got him.
Don't let the door be going out there. But I'm excited. I know we're talking in the future here, but I'm hoping that some of these 1-year deals stick around, right? Idenabo, they has potential. That's what you got to ask yourself, right? The guys they brought in on these 1-year deals, who is going to be here going forward, or who is just a stopgap? Do they like Reggie Wagland long term? Do they like Idenabo long term? Is Ryan Anderson going to make the team? So, these are some of the things that we're going to have to worry about. Then, the draft capital, right? If it goes back to what Joel said, if the season stinks, right, you're probably going to jettison a lot of players anyways, and that draft capital goes to the quarterback because you're going to be in that realm. Now, if they stink and the quarterback balls out, we'll address whatever needs are addressed. But if you can get rid of guys, Evan Ingram, if he's balling out and you know that you're not going to sign him, why don't you just get something for him, whether it's a 3rd-round pick, and then at least you got some capital for him. I mean, are we really going to miss Evan Ingram? Like, are we really? I don't.
No.
A lot of fans want him. I thought about it the other day.
A lot less than he misses passes.
Well, Pat was saying something the other day about how many playmakers we have. And if you go down the list of playmakers from Galladay, Barkley, Shepard, Slayton, Tony, that's 5 guys that not named Ingram, not to mention Rudolph, okay? That's 6 guys. So, to me, there's going to be so many passes to go around. It depends on where the Giants need. Because if you're running seam routes with Kyle Rudolph and you're doing other things with other tight ends, that's what you can do. And then he can become expendable. If he's having a great season, you got guys behind him that you can trade for. So that's how I look at it.
Well, here's the thing too, is would you guys, let's say we are 6-2, but we're dealing with injuries, okay? Because this probably would happen. All right, let's say, would you trade Peppers for a right guard, tackle, offensive lineman because you gotta, you're not getting Hernandez back next year. That's got 3 years left on his deal.
Man, why everybody so quick to get rid of Hernandez?
I'm not. I'm just saying, how are we going to re-sign him though, Lou? Because we only got $6 million. He's going to want,
Listen,
10.
he's not rich yet. He's not rich yet. If we make a big push to the playoffs, he can't demand something he's never seen. If we make a big push in the playoffs and we lose and we fall short, there's ways to renegotiate with these guys. You don't always got to give everybody a buku amount of money.
Well, I get it, brother. I really do. I understand what you're saying.
I mean, once they've already become rich and now they're divas and they're used to a certain lifestyle, then they demand certain things and all that. But, he still hasn't seen a big payday. So if they make a big push and fall short, I believe there's numerous young guys that haven't seen a big payday that'll be willing to make deals and renegotiate because I believe they've bought in. I mean, maybe I'm just being optimistic because I'm a fan, but,
I am too, and I want to see him stay because I do like what he brings to this team. I do think he has potential, and I think that he just got hindered in a couple of ways with Colombo and some other things that might have happened. Recorded he was injured last year, and he had the COVID, which set him back. All right, look, I got hopes for Hernandez, but let's say Lemieux's not panning out, but we're still 6-2. Would you trade Peppers for a guard that's got 3 years left on it, like we did with like a Zeitler thing?
Well, Hernandez doesn't have Hernandez. This is last year,
right?
So basically, you get what you get, right? And don't get upset if you get nothing, right? So if we ball out, and he decides, you know what, I don't want to stay here, then you get nothing. This is what happens when you have 1 year deal type of players, right? You run into this conundrum of how do we sign them? Because we're always talking about, if the guy plays well, if the guy plays well, he's going to want to get paid, and it's whether or not they can afford him. Now, if you have all the draft capital that you're saying that we're acquiring, I'm gonna let him walk because I'm gonna get the next best guard in the draft, right? So if that's the case, I'm not worried about it. I already have Shane Lemieux, who's already here, right? I can re-sign Fulton at a cheaper rate. Right, they like Chad Slade. They have Kyle Murphy, who they happen to like. There are guys that they can jigger around to keep to kind of stopgap the player. Now, Lou did a video on Brett Hagee, right? That guy plays both guard positions and the center position, right? If they happen to like his development, they might let Hernandez walk for the cheaper guy, and then in the draft go get competition for that position.
By the way, guys, go check that video out. Lou did a phenomenal job on that.
Who, me?
Yeah. Didn't you do that?
Yeah, thank you.
I just mentioned you guys.
No, I know. I heard you mention it, but I didn't know he was telling people go watch. Thank you.
Go watch that video. That way you'll know who we're talking about. Yeah, I forgot about a couple of those guys, Adam.
I don't forget about a couple. I check this roster every day, man. This is what I do. I am obsessed with this team, right? They got a guy like Chad Slade, who they happen to like. Now I don't necessarily think Chad Slade's great, but he's played some games. So Chad Slade can come in and be a stock. And what I'm saying is, I'm not wasting my time on worrying about whether or not I pay Hernandez, especially when I have 2 first-round draft picks this coming draft. As long as I was speaking with Miz before, as long as Jones balls out, right, and we don't have to worry about the quarterback, then we can go best guard available, right? At let's say the Chicago pick. Let's say Chicago stinks, right? Hypotheticals, and they're in the top 10. I'm going with the top 10 guard. Boom, there you go. Now my guard spot is solved for the next 5 years, right? Because I have a guard now. So this season is really exciting because
it is.
This is the first time, for me at least, the Giants are going to be exciting going into the season. It's not like, we suck. I have expectations. I'm not winning the division. I just want to get to the playoffs or be in contention for the playoffs towards the end of the year, right? Not a 6-10 way to the playoffs. Like, let's win and you're in type scenario.
Yeah. Let's control our own destiny. Yeah.
And for those people saying I don't want to guard a top 10, all I'm going to say is Quentin Nelson.
Right. I mean, Brandon Schreff, right, from with the Washington Redskins. I mean, there's guys that can play at that position, and they're going to be out there. I mean, Penny Sewell is a guard. He slipped, but he's a guard, right? He's a tackle or a guard, whatever you use him. I'm just saying, they're going to be more linemen now in the next year's draft. It's going to be so much more fruitful because guys, lost their eligibility, right? So there'll be better players now this time around than there were this year. So if I'm the Giants, I'm praying that I'm doing whatever. I'm burning sage. I'm saying my prayers.
Voodoo,
I'm doing whatever I need to do to hope that Daniel Jones is the man, so I don't have to worry about packaging those 2 picks to move up and get a quarterback. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you right now, Adam, I think Daniel Jones is going to lead us just fine. I really do.
You see that picture of him throwing that ball? You thought he was talking about him?
Everybody's getting so excited about that. Most quarterbacks, you don't see them too much, without their pads and all that. But most of them are pretty built guys. They're not some flimsy looking guys. Most
Did you see his
well built.
rookie picture compared to this last one? I mean, you cannot work this hard and fail. You can't do it.
He's juicing.
You can't. It's impossible. When people put in the work, they produce. I don't care who you are, what job. Vera Tucker,
Yes, hey, Chris, this was a shout out. Yeah, I mean, but I like Vera.
Thanks for popping in the stream, Chris.
I mean, this is what makes it so exciting. This is a good problem to have. Right?
Yes.
We're not necessarily a good team yet, but this is a problem that good teams have, right? They have the plethora of talented players. I mean, you look at Lorenzo Carter, there's going to be a lot of outside linebackers that we could trade. It's really going to be exciting come cut down day, August 31st, what waiver claims we put in and what trades we might make to get extra players if somebody goes down, right? Because I don't think all the players are making it, right? Especially if you have Zimenez, you have Carter, you have Ojulari, and then you're going to tell me that you're going to use Idenabo and Anderson plus the other guys you got there?
Like Carter
Let's touch on that.
Coughlin.
I'm glad you brought that up because do you think that Zimenez and Carter are going to get back to what they potentially could have been before the injury?
Injury, that Achilles.
Thank you, Chris.
Yes, Reek is right, man. That Achilles injury, that saps you of a lot of stuff. Although I saw him working out Carter a video before. You have to let it play out. To me, they're going to give him every chance to stick with those 2 guys. That's what they're going to do. They're not going to be like, you're garbage, you're gone. I don't know what to do with Zimenez because I don't have much film on the guy, right? He came in as a rookie, had 4.5 sacks. You're like, oh, okay. But then the whole defense changed on him, right? He was built for the Betcher defense and not the Graham defense, right? So we have to this is what you have to kind of do is kind of see what Graham is going to do in his laboratory of creativity with these players, how he's going to make them work.
And that's why we have 17 linebackers that I keep talking about, that I keep getting excited about, because there's not too many teams in the NFL right now that have 17 linebackers on their roster. It's crazy. I'm just excited because I can see them salivating, looking at the quarterback like he's a 3-course meal and they've been starved for a week. I'm telling you, it's going to be a problem this year. It's going to be the Blitz Squad. I've already given them a name. I've made like 2 videos about his Blitz Squad. And when people become a member to my channel, that's going to be what it is. They're a member of the Blitz Squad because we're going to be linebacker crazy.
Well, not only that, but you know what? People aren't really happy getting like a 3rd or 4th or a 5th round pick for guys. But if we can come out and trade a few guys to other teams for a couple more, like a 3rd, a 5th, a 3rd, a 4th, a couple of 4s, look, those package real nicely to move up and grab somebody in that 2nd, 3rd round. So I will take those all day.
I like having those picks too because I trust the coaching staff to make a 3rd round pick into a 1st round talent. You know what I mean? So,
they're great at evaluating talent. And with the amount of collegiate coaches that we've hired on that has such familiarity with all the college players currently playing, I mean, we have a leg up on most teams.
When's the last time we talked about the Giants' future like this? We're looking 2 years ahead right now, and look at the positivity.
I was telling a friend of mine, Buko, the kid who mentioned Joel and one of the Vera Tucker in the stream. I was telling him this is like basketball on turf right now, right? Because when you go into an NBA game, you try to match up with everybody, right? Well, guess what? Aaron Robinson is a big corner, right? So if they play the Saints and Michael Thomas is in the slot, well, I'm going to put Aaron Robinson in the slot instead of Darnay Holmes because that matchup doesn't work for me, right? Doesn't mean Darnay Holmes is a bad player. It just means we have more matchups and more chess pieces to throw out there when we play.
And that's the key to the game, right? What you just said, Adam. It's matchups and schemes. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that hit the nail right on the head for every game plan. Go ahead.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is like that's how this team is built now. It's not built on let's be a 3-4 defense. It's an amoeba defense. It's we want to match up with the best players that we can for this game plan this week. Sometimes it's going to work, and sometimes it's not going to work. But those are the times where they're going to adjust, right?
It's what Bill Belichick did under Bill Parcells.
Right.
He addressed the strength of whatever team they were playing, and he took away their strengths. And that's basically what we're doing. We're changing our defense week to week based on who we face and what they do well.
If you look at the matchup against Baltimore, that game, the defense is not built for that team. That's why if you watch the body language, that defense, the Giants defense already knew they were in for a long day because they weren't built to chase this big offensive line and Lamar Jackson around. Now, if you have more speed out there with Robinson, Cam Brown, another year in the system, now you're starting to build a team that can go up against anybody in the NFL. And that's what essentially we want to build for, right? You want to build to beat the teams in your division and conference first, and then worry about the AFC teams. People are like, "Oh, we got to beat, Kansas City." We're never going to play Kansas City unless we play them in the Super Bowl. We play them one game this year, okay? We haven't played them in 5 years. We don't see them every year. You don't build your team to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. You build your team to beat the Redskins, then to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then hopefully whoever you play in the Super Bowl, you have 2 weeks to dissect that team and get the right matchups there, right? So for me, I look at it like this. Let's beat the Redskins. I think the Giants have a great defense and a great chance to make this defense exciting, right? Because you don't know who they're going to match up with. And this coaching staff has proven young quarterback, like Drew Lock is probably shitting in his diaper right now because he's not going to know where the defense is going to be coming from. Because if you watched all the young quarterbacks last year, they had trouble with the Giants defense because Pat Graham is like, I'm going to confuse the shit out of you. I'm going to put things that you've never seen here out there, right?
He's great at disguises.
Right. I'm
phenomenally great with disguising.
I'm going to make Jabril Peppers the middle linebacker on this play and have Blake Martinez be the weak side backer, and you don't know where they're coming from. You know what I mean? And we're sitting here like, yeah, they're running this defense, and we're sitting here on TV. We don't know what the hell's going on. So if we don't know what the hell's going on, I can guarantee you Pat Shurmur is probably sitting there going, and they're scheming. You know they're scheming. Joe Judge is like, oh, Pat Shurmur's great. Yeah, go suck a you-know-what, Pat Shurmur. Sorry, that guy is not, he's soft. And once his offense gets choked out by Leonard Williams and company, it's going to be fun.
Oh, God, Adam, I love your passion. Oh.
All day, every day, 24/7, 365, man. That's what I do. I love this team.
How do you follow that?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with that?
Mic drop.
Mic drop. There we go. But look at the hope. Look at the future. I mean, everything. Giants fans, I mean, they're growing something here. This is the time to get behind your team. Tell the Eagles to go suck a fart. All right, we're taking the division. Washington, we're taking the division. We're back. We're better than ever. Period. End of sentence. You guys want to beat us? You're going to have to improve in a lot of areas.
Giants' pride has been restored.
That's right.
The thing that I like about this team the most is the coaching staff, right? Because for the first time, I feel like the coaching staff is making the players better on the back end of the roster, not just the star players. That's what gives me hope, is when I see guys like Cam Brown coming into a game and producing after not really having much burn at the beginning of the year, and they're coming in and making, and of course they have their mistakes. If you watch inside the film room, Cam Brown read a play wrong, but he made up for it with speed. These guys are going to learn, right? And now you got like 27 coaches for, that's almost like 2 coaches for every position group. That to me tells me one coach will make the game plan, the other will individualize what is weak on the players that they got. So if Lorenzo Carter can't put his hand in the dirt, well, maybe he shouldn't be putting his hand in the dirt. Maybe he should just be running from a 2-point stance. I don't like doing things that these guys haven't been familiar with. It's like telling a cook to become a waiter all of a sudden. He's not going to know what tables to bust. He's not going to know what to do. You're going to tell him and then that's telling the waiter, go make me a filet mignon medium well. What the hell is that guy going to do? He's not in his comfort zone. So mistakes are going to be made. Times are going to change. What I like is these coaches are going, he's a waiter. Well, we're going to put him on this section and do what he does well. And we'll worry about developing that back end part later or as the season goes. So hopefully by the end of the year, that weakness becomes, I wouldn't say a strength, but becomes improved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We ain't taking over. We took over.
For me, it's that the coach has that locker room right around his finger. Them boys are going to do whatever he says, and they buying into it. And when a coach does that, when he has that respect and he has that authority, and he knows that he's going to do whatever he has to do to get you into a play, to put you in a winning position, guys run through a brick wall for that. I know I would.
He's actually taking the time to learn his players, what makes them tick, the ins and outs of the way they think, the strengths and weaknesses of their game. And he's using all of the tools in his bag to get the best out of each player on that team, on the field, at any particular play.
And that's why we love him. That's why we love him getting draft picks too, molding that young talent.
This is an extremely young team. I mean, we are, like I said, with the 17 linebackers that we have, 4 of them are 27. The rest are younger. 23, 24. Azeez Ojulari is 20 years old.
My God. And what excites me is that Joe Judge is not afraid to put his nose in a position group's, business, right?
Yes.
With Colombo, everyone's like, oh, that was crazy. No, that's what you do when you're a boss or a CEO of a team. Yeah, you go, you're not Pat Shermer, you don't keep Hal Hunter on the team because he's your good friend from fucking when you worked with the Cleveland Browns. The guy looked like a bum. He looked like a hobo on the street in his interviews. All right, looked like you picked him up off the side of the curb in New York City and said, "Here, go coach the O-line." You know what I mean? I'm just saying. And then when he stunk, you're like, oh, and then Hal Hunter's like, well, we're doing our schemes. No, Hal, it's not working. Get the hell out of here. Okay, get the hell out of here. Take your ball and leave. All right, take your booty ass looking non-shaped, no teeth having face out of here. Okay, I want a guy who's gonna do what Joe Judge says, punch his own coaches in the mouth. Right? Oh, you don't want to listen to me? All right, you're fired. Okay, now Colombo's gonna choke me. Yeah. All right, let's have Royal Rumble. WrestleMania in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? I just love it. Pat Shermer was too much of a Club Med guy and too much patting on the back and worried about what the media said about him. Why don't you coach the freaking football team? Why are you looking at the play sheet when they need you on defense? Okay? They need you on defense. You're trying to scheme your way to the next fucking play. Get out of here, Pat Shermer. I hope we destroy him on November.
Oh my God.
I have kids that watch this channel, but I love you, bro.
Yeah,
They're going to learn some education and language in the English language today.
Yeah, it's in every song.
You're going to learn today.
They get more curse words on South Park than they do in this stream, that's for sure.
That's true.
When your coach beats the medical staff because you're hurt, that tells me he cares. I'm going to fight for that man.
When your
Barkley got hurt, he was right over there.
Coach is diving in a mud pile for a football with his team. That's a guy I'm going to war with. That's what I'm going to do. You don't see Pat Shermer rolling around the mud. No, he's too
right.
You got Joe Judge mixing it up with his team, and that's what you need. You need a guy who's good. He's 38. He's got the pulse. Listen, I was skeptical about him at first, but when I heard that Nick Saban backed him, that Belichick called up John Mara, was like, you need to sign this guy, and the fact that the first interview we had, his suit fit, I was like, that's a good start, right? And then after he spoke, I was like, let's go and put me in the game. Shoot, I'm 37 years old, barely can run anymore, and I'll go out there and run with him. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, I've played football since high school professionally, and I would go strap it. I would go lose licking my knee just so I could run out there for Joe Judge.
No, yeah. After that press conference, I was all in.
You remember? I don't know who leaked this, but they were they were talking about that conversation between Bill Belichick and the Giants front office, and when they were looking for the coach, and they Joe Judge came up and they asked Bill Belichick about Joe Judge, and Bill Belichick said, "Well, he's better than the last two guys you had." So.
Oh yeah, I
That's all
remember
he had
that.
to say. That's all he had to say. So,
and you know, John Mara, he was like, "Oh my God, Bill, thank you so much." Whatever. I mean, he wanted to get. There's a rumor that we were going to get Bill Belichick. I mean, and to get one of his disciples. Look, man, Genie did pretty good. Mike Vrabel's doing well. Okay, there are guys in his tree that do well. Josh McDaniels' name has been bantied about. His tree is not as bad as it looks. Andy Reid's right now is a little better, but I trust the process. Trust what's going on. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Adam.
No, go, Joe. I talk too much anyways.
No, you're fine, man. All right, here's the thing I'm going to say about that coaching tree, though. If you look at Patricia and all of them, they tried to be Belichick instead of being themselves. They tried to do what Belichick would do. Joe Judge is doing what has to be done to get these guys to buy in. He's not trying to be Belichick. He's not trying to be Saban. But he's using what he learned from those two, created his own filet mignon recipe, and he's mixing that up, and now he knows how to go into the goddamn kitchen and cook it.
Exactly. And now the guys are buying in, and that's when you got guys like Logan Ryan taking a trip up from Florida, wherever he's at, to recruit Adoree Jackson, right? Yes. During the offseason in the middle of March, when it's cold and rainy, and he's coming up here to tell Adoree Jackson, who he played with, we got something going on here, right? I can't, and the guy ends up signing. That's impactful stuff. No one's coming up here for Pat Shermer or slick back hair salesman McAdoo when they were here. They weren't doing that. McAdoo lost the team when he showed them some weird video. The team was like, "Yeah, we had no idea what he was talking about." We're like, "Yeah, why are you showing them a video they don't understand?" And the rookies are watching a different video. This guy,
I did a video about that called culture, the culture change in New York, and talking about how guys were coming from other teams, and Danny Shelton, when his first interview as a Giant, when they asked him, what made the Giants the team for you? What made this the spot for you to sign as a free agent? And he said, Joe Judge was one of my favorite coaches back in New England. I couldn't pass up the opportunity to play for him as he leads us possibly into the playoffs. That's what he said verbatim. Like, when you got players specifically coming from other teams to play for your coach, that says something. That speaks numerous volumes of what is going on in that building.
Absolutely right. And the one thing I want to say that brings up with Joel about the New England way type of way is New England knows how to utilize their players, right? There was guys who used to play on New England who go to another team after getting a big free agent deal. There's Trey Flowers, for example, goes to the Lions and does nothing, but he's a menace on New England. Why? Because they know what to use him. They're not saying, "Hey, go drop back and cover." They'll say, "Go get the quarterback." They're not making him do more things than he's not capable of doing. And Joe Judge is really enacting his message. He's transparent. He tells the media, "This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it, and this is what we're going to do." And the results are showing up on the field, and that's what gives me excitement. I haven't had this much excitement since I first saw Tom Coughlin come in.
Right. If you remember, he said in one of his early press conferences about evaluating talent, he said, "I'm not going to look at a player as a tight end or as a quarterback or a halfback or a wide receiver. I'm going to look at them as an athlete. Show me what they can do as opposed to what they can't do, and then we'll work around their strengths." He said that in one of his earliest press conferences, and that impressed me so much about him, that a coach this young in his first time at that position with that much power didn't get a big head, didn't get all full of himself, and said something that actually makes sense. Because a lot of times these guys get on the podium and hit you with one-liners and a bunch of stuff.
Right?
But
hey, Joseph,
he literally told you, "I'm going to evaluate these guys as athletes. I'm going to see what they do well. I don't care about what they can't do well. I want to see what they do well, and we're going to use them and play them to their strengths.
Do you guys
And so
remember the
far, he's
game?
lived up to it.
Do you guys remember the game when New England, they were using wide receivers as safeties, and everyone said, "What the hell is Belichick doing?" But
Yes.
they knew exactly what they were doing.
Right. And you know,
What's up, Viz?
that brings me to, you know, why I'm excited, because overall I've never been this excited, like I said, since Tom Coughlin came in. Because when Jim Fossil left in 2003, it was
You
Club
guys
Med.
popped in the stream.
They did not work hard. They
Jim
didn't do
Fossil.
anything. And then Tom Coughlin comes in, and all the veterans are like, "Oh, he's too hard on you." No, the reason he's telling you to show up 5 minutes doesn't mean he wants you to be late. He just wants you to
Killing
be
me, Rick.
disciplined. It's discipline, and what you do in football is you become disciplined. Once you buy in, like you is like, "Oh, I bought in. I love this guy," and it just takes one to spread the message. And I love it. I want them to be a punch you in the mouth team. You know, hard nosed. He's taking the pulse of the fan base, and he knows that we're going to work hard. We're going to be in every game. Like, they were in every game this year. There wasn't a game where you were like, "Oh, they're getting really blown out." They were in every game at the end. I mean, the wheels fell off against San Francisco, but for 3.5 quarters, they were in that game, right? And
no, they fought. They fought harder than they fought for McAdoo, or even when Spags was interim coach, or Pat Shermer. Yeah, they fought. They fought like they fought for Coughlin.
Right. And you saw it in the Seattle game. That was one of the biggest statement wins the Giants have had in the longest time. No experts were picking them to win. Not even the Giants fan base was picking them to win. I said, let's go, roll the dice. You never know, right? And here they are with Colt McCoy, who has a noodle for an arm, right? And they go up there with his little noodle cannon. I'm making pasta for dinner. That's what he had. He had rigatoni arm, all right? And he was throwing these ducks all over the field, and then somehow,
rigatoni.
Huh?
I love rigatoni.
Yeah, Colt McCoy was rigatoniing the football around the field against that game, and somehow they won because they bought in, they never gave up, and they played to the strengths, right? And here we are. We're talking about one of the biggest statement wins they've had in a long time. How many people went into that game and thought, "Oh man, the Giants have any shot"? They didn't. And the thing that also got me was we were in the playoff hunt till the end of the freaking year. When could you say that about the Giants? I don't care about 6 and 10. I don't give a crap about that shit. That's not my fault that the whole division was
meaningful football in December, which
it's not my fault the whole division was booty. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not my fault that the whole division took a crap on itself. Okay, we happened to be there at the end, and if it wasn't for those bags down the turnpike in Philadelphia, lying down like a bunch of dogs, we would be in the playoffs right now against Tampa Bay.
Well, you know, they all had the dog mask on a few seasons ago when they won their miracle Super Bowl, but they revealed themselves as a bunch of female dogs, you know. But
just real quick, Lou, Philadelphia can do whatever they want, but we won the last damn game. You guys lost the damn game. So no matter how you want to look at it, the Giants should have played better to where that game had no meaning.
Right.
Well, either way, Philly, you're a bunch of losers.
Right. And if it wasn't for Evan Ingram, we would be in the playoffs.
Right.
We'd be in the playoffs. One play and we're sitting home. That's why I'm so angry, because it's a play that should have been made by a Pro Bowl tight end. You want to go to the Pro Bowl?
I want to address this statement from Brother Joseph Balby. He says, "I wish we weren't on national TV against the Browns."
I want to be on national TV against the Brownies. Step on their throats. Let's go.
I think
We're the New York freaking Giants. We deserve to be in prime time. We're not the Detroit freaking Lions, okay? We're not the Houston Texans.
Football establishments in this league.
I think that's hindsight too, because you remember whose slot we took when we went on that game?
When we went on what game?
When, you know, we originally weren't supposed to be on national TV when we played the Browns. We took a team slot. You remember the team? We took Dallas' slot. So I think that's kind of hindsight, because I was pretty stoked that we were on. I mean, I wasn't happy how it ended, but
I'm looking forward to this game, and I'm glad it's on national television. Everybody's hyping up that Browns running game with Chubb and
Kareem Hunt.
They have Beckham. They have Landry. They have who's that tight end? I can never say his name.
Joku.
Njoku.
Yeah, but I think they got another guy.
They have Austin Hooper too.
Yeah, that's
We
the guy.
stop that run. We put pressure on Baker. If you put pressure on Baker, he will throw picks.
Yes, but they have Myles Garrett.
You know what? I'm not worried about Myles Garrett because Andrew Thomas is just going to take a hold of that boy and show him what's what. All right? We got an all-star left tackle. That guy's going to be a Pro Bowler this year. You watch. Because I don't think he's going to go. Daniel Jones gets sacked more than 2 times this year off that left side.
Oh,
because
Thomas is going to be a beast.
Yes, wow. I have a lot of faith in that man.
I agree. I agree that he'll be better.
Line has been working with some gurus in the offseason. They've been putting in the work. They're hungry. They've heard all the stuff that ESPN and NFL Network and all these guys have said about them, and they are coming in with a big chip on their shoulder. So much so that they've taken their personal time and got together in the offseason and have been working out and doing things with the quarterback and the wide receivers. This team is ready. We are primed to make a big step and primed to make a lot of noise this season and punch a lot of teams in the nose for 60 minutes straight. So get ready for it.
Listen, prime time. This is why I wanted the Cowboys opening week. This is the one year I wanted the Cowboys week 1. So we could come out there and smack them in the mouth and let the NFL know that we're here. Okay. Instead, we get the lowly the Broncos week 1. And I know the Giants are, Joel wants a blowout. I just want to win. Because I know the Giants play down to their competition and up to their competition. So just get me a W. Because this is the NFL. Fluky things happen. A ball's going to bounce off Evan Ingram's hands, and they may take it 6 and make the game closer than it needs to be. Just come out of there with a win, and then when Washington comes to town, or we go down to RFK or FedEx Field or whatever the hell they call that shitty stadium down there, whatever they're calling it, I want to go out there and I want to beat them. I don't need a statement. I need a march. I need a marathon. I need to know that when you come to play New York, you're going to leave bruised and battered. And you're going to know that this team came out and gave it its all. And Jason Garrett would be dumb to not – he has to be stupid to not score more than 25 points a game. He has so many weapons, he could fall into 25 points a game.
Here's my biggest fear about this team. He is the only question mark to me, in my opinion. I think we have a well-built team, and I think that all of our picks are good. I think they were picked based on what they do well and how well they fit with what we're trying to do. So I believe in everything we've done except for the acquisition of Jason Garrett as our offensive coordinator. I do not like the man's play calling. I don't like his style of playing. I just don't. I don't think it's the New York Giant way. But hopefully he'll prove me wrong and they'll throw some wrinkles in the offense that I haven't seen him use before. But I just don't trust the man.
Well, it's funny because you watch.
Sorry, Adam.
It's funny if you watch that Dallas game last year, the first one. He was doing things you never seen before. Evan Ingram, reverses and stuff, and then somehow it went dormant. What I hope happens is they have breakaway players now with Tony and Barkley and even Galladay. They have playmakers now who can take it to the house on any play. Why you get Tony is so that you can do the dumb bubble screens or the little dinky, 5-yard turn routes, and he'll take it 60 yards to the house. That's what Tony brings to your team. And Freddie Kitchens is there to say, no, Jason, you don't want your ass to be fired. You may want to do it this way. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, what I was going to say is, we all like the result of the Dallas game. So let's talk about that last Dallas game and what we saw Garrett do, because Daniel Jones had a hell of a game that game. What was he doing differently? Because when we first played the Cowboys, they kept it close and then beat our ass because the refs gave it up. But they didn't get that chance in the second game.
They threw the ball downfield. Daniel Jones is not the offensive league. That's why we have Galladay now. And if they're smart, they'll do what they did before. You play action pass. That's what I would love to see. You walk in together, you do a stack formation, right? Penny's in the backfield. Barkley's in the backfield. You've got your tight end on one side. You got Galladay, Shepard, or Flint, and you do a play action bomb. Just open it up, play action bomb, and I don't care if they go 3 and out. On it away.
You're going in and out, Adam.
Sorry.
Yeah,
what?
Adam, you got quiet.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay, so what I'm saying is the opening game, I want them to stack it like they look like they're going to run and throw a deep pass like they did in 2009 with Plaxico Burress when they opened up that stadium. Oh, so not 2009, 2007 or wherever it was. When they opened that stadium, they threw the ball deep. They did a play action pass on the first play of the game, and they got the ball deep downfield. This is what I want them to do. Daniel Jones has people want him to run. I don't want RPOs. I want him to roll out. I want him to.
Yes.
Move the pocket around, do the things like Tony Romo did in the Dallas Cowboys system. Dallas
by time, so your players can
exactly. That's what you need to do because he doesn't always have to drop back. You can do a waggle, you can do a quarterback rollout where he throws the ball, things like that. I don't need to say, oh, let's do an RPO. That should be in the game where you haven't seen the RPO all day or all season, and boom, that play happens and he runs another 80-yard play.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be like every damn.
Right. And with the running backs they have now, it gives me hope that we're not going to have to worry about Dion Lewis, who, by the way, why are you running Dion Lewis 1 yard at the goal line when he's 195 pounds? Okay, Goldman, and you running Dion Lewis back there. That's what I want to kick Jason Garrett in the nuts. It's like, look, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you really evaluating your players? Or are you just sitting there like, oh, well, Dion Lewis is our third down back. We got to keep him in there. No. You go in there and you give it to Penny. You give it to somebody else. Hell, give it to Daniel freaking Jones. But don't give it to Dion Lewis.
I need whatever Adam is having. I'm
just fired up, man. I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to hit somebody in the mouth, man. Don't take me to the stadium. I'm going to jail.
Christ, don't do it. I didn't do it. Don't hit me.
You guys are good. You're Giant fans. You're not wearing the other team's stuff. As far as I'm concerned, you're family.
What's going on, Pat?
That's how I feel. You need to know your personnel. And that's why I love the Devontae Booker signing. Everyone's like, oh, they gave money. Who cares about the money? Don't give a about the money. First off, it ain't your money, so don't worry about it. Second off, if the boy can play, which he can play, and you need to take time away from Barkley, because I know Barkley needs 40 carries. No, he doesn't. He needs to be effective, okay? You can't just run the guy ragged because you want him to be 26. I'd rather have him be fresh in the third and the fourth quarter when the defense is getting tired and getting beat down and not knowing what to do. And how about we run a screen with Barkley? How about we run him on what he did against the Washington football team, or the Redskins, as I like to say, when he caught that 33-yard pass, right, from Daniel Jones. These are the things you can do with Barkley that you need to do. And why do we have a fullback and we ain't going to use him? Sick of it. We just sit there and Elijah Penny just collects checks for being a halfback on the kickoff team. Great job, Elijah. Great job. We signed you to be a fullback and you're taking up a roster spot.
Giants fans, this is how you act right there. That's how you do it. That's how you show passion.
You guys hear that? I do it too much. That's why my voice is always hoarse.
Yeah, you should hear me on Mondays after the game at the stadium. They wonder what the hell happened to me. Adam, are you okay? No, I'm not okay. I just saw a 3-hour fight and I'm angry. You know what I mean? We're playing football here. That's the point about football. It's weird. It's like everybody wants to sit here and be quiet and do golf claps. I don't got time for golf claps. I want to kick you in the mouth. I'm playing football, not somebody else.
For that. Wrong sport for that garbage. That's what kills me about Jason Garrett with that.
Yeah, that dumb clapping shit. Yeah, this isn't Pee-wee football. This is grown men football. Get in their face. Grab a face mask. Yell at somebody. You let your spit get into their mask because you're yelling so damn much.
Give him that Bernie Mac slap when he stepped off the tour bus on head of state and he was running for vice president. That slap. I
mean, Bill Parcells yelled at everybody. He was fighting with Phil Simms on the sideline. Number 11, get out of your ass.
Fought with Belichick too.
I just need competency when it comes to play calling. I don't need creativity. I need competency. I need you to know. You need to know your players. Don't run. If you don't run Elijah Penny, then get him off the field. We're wasting a roster spot if you're not going to have a lead blocker for Saquon. Right? Every other running back that's good has a lead blocker. Look at Sean Alexander when he played for Seattle. They had Lorenzo Neal.
Oh, God, yes.
Right? That big boy used to come out and wreck people. And then you have Sean Alexander running for 1,800 yards a season.
Emmitt
All I'm
Smith
trying-
with Moose.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
but you have and not to mention Penny can catch the ball in the backfield. How about you switch it up that way? You know, how about you do a
Appreciate
quarterback
that.
sneak every once in a while? And no, what do? We give it to Deion Lewis, who has friggin' lead in his friggin' feet, can't even return a kickoff. Okay, he doesn't. I mean, you put Jabril Peppers back there when you want a spark. No, if he's a better player, you put him back there.
I don't think Deion Lewis is on the team anymore, though.
Yeah, because I called up Joe Judge and said, if you put him in that game anymore, I'm going to kick you in the balls. And he said, okay, Adam, I hear what you're saying.
I think Adam hit it on the head. That's all we really want is just competency. You know, Judge knows how to call a game. We know Graham knows how to call a defense. So Garrett, stop the stupid fucking clapping and learn play calls.
This year he ain't clapping. Why? Because he knows his ass is on the line, and every time he looks over, he's going to see Joe Judge giving him the stank eye, because that's what he was doing towards the end of the year. And that's why Freddie Kitchens got elevated, because he knows here's what's going to happen with Garrett. He's got two options. He does well, he goes to be a head coach. He fails, he gets fired. So we are basically putting our next offensive coordinator on our team right now.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to dip off for a little bit. If you guys are still on, I'll jump on later. But I got to go eat some rigatoni. So
yeah, there you go. Noodle arm. All right.
See you, Adam.
See you, Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the fire.
Oh, yeah. You can call in on my channel anytime. I
Me
love
too.
that.
I got to go live one of these damn nights. I keep putting it off, but.
Oh, yeah, I did it for the first time Monday, and I think I was hooked. That's it. I like it.
Yeah, I
like interacting with the fans. I like Giants fans calling in, being fired up, and giving different perspectives that I might have not looked at it from, or you know, just different thoughts and different ways to look at it, and different avenues of how things are going. So,
like I said, the fishing's calling though, Lou. I gotta go fishing. I can't help myself. I mean,
yeah, I saw your last video too. I don't know if you saw me comment.
I saw you comment on that. I gave her a love. I like the damn alarms. I get to sit back, take a nap. I just wait for that beep to happen, and then I know I got a fish on. I know how I take naps on the bank.
Look, Big Pat said, "Yup, going live is addictive."
Well, calling in's addictive, because I was going to go fishing tonight. But I'm like, Lou's go. I got to talk to Lou. I got to argue with him somehow, some way.
Yeah, we haven't had a good argument in a while.
I know. Well, that's what happens
much.
when you have a good team, you know, and you got hope. It's hard to argue about things that you're not going to see anymore.
Rick, you're gonna start coming in the street with white paint on your face and a black toboggan, because you don't say much. You just do gestures.
I mean, there's not much. I mean, I'm not gonna get in the way of a guy like Adam if he's going on. He's not gonna stand in front of a train. You know what I mean?
Oh man, Adam, you can't be intimidating people on my channel. No. Adam,
I mean, that guy, he's going, but it is addictive. I mean, to that point, it is addictive. I mean, I don't have much to say, but I keep hopping on.
Right.
It's addictive, though.
No problem.
Bro, has anybody heard anything about the OTAs that happened over today or yesterday or anything?
I know. There's media tomorrow.
75 guys showed up, something like that. That's
Yeah,
pretty
it was
good turnout.
70. I think it was 70. Or maybe 75, I don't know. But yeah, that's a lot, considering that about a month and a half ago they released a statement saying that none of them were going to come.
Yeah.
Right.
But tomorrow we get the interviews in the media. So.
Is that what happens tomorrow?
Yeah. They'll let media come on. Yeah. So that'll be exciting.
I'll have to keep an eye out for that. I'm sure there'll be a lot of stuff to talk about there. But you know, you can't really. I mean, everything Adam said was a valid point. You know, we're as Giants fans, we're just tired of a lot of the BS, a lot of the what are you doing? You know.
Yeah. You get tired of looking at a play and saying, "What the heck were they thinking?"
Right. And look, I understand these guys are human too, and they do make mistakes, but you have to go along with the point of, because coaches do it. I can't afford to put you in the game anymore because you make mistakes, and I can't have you in there at a valuable time. And the NFL stands for not for long. Unfortunately, no fun league. It's fun for us fans, but for those guys working out every day, 365 days a year. If you're not in the tub, you're stretching. If you're not stretching, you're lifting weights. If you're not lifting weights, you're working on technique. If you're not working on technique, you're trying to eat right. You're trying to get the right amount of sleep. You're trying to recharge your body, getting ready for 17 weeks. I mean, these guys go through hell. I'm not going to deny it. I mean, even if you play pee-wee football, you go through hell. You get the leg cramps and the muscle pulls and the tears.
Your body's not designed for that stuff, man. That's why they get paid as much as they do, because they put in their body. That stuff takes a toll on you.
We got a question.
Yeah, Taekwon Lewis.
Got a question, but I don't think we'll be talking about it for that long.
Should we trade for Julio Jones?
Heck no.
I wonder what they're going to get for him, though, because...
For one, why would we want to give away the draft picks that we just traded down to get? Because that's all we can do. We can't afford to pay the man. He's old. In my opinion, we already have our Julio and Galladay.
Tony, I think. I think Tony's our weapon.
Galladay's tall. And Julio's tall.
I can't put anyone... I get what you're saying, but... you can't put anyone on Julio's level, but I get what you're saying. I mean, Julio.
No, I mean, yeah, of course. But he's old.
I mean, he's 30 years old, 31 years old this year, something like that.
He's 32 right now.
32, yes.
Who?
But
no. Aaron Rodgers is 37. I'm sorry.
Aaron Rodgers is 37.
Yeah.
There was a rumor that the Falcons believe that the leak, like when he went on live TV and said that he's out of there, that hurt his trade value. So I wonder. I don't want us to trade for him, but I wonder what the price is now, because I don't think they can. I don't think anyone was going to get him for a first anyway. Nobody was going to give up a first, but I wonder now that it's known that he wants out. I wonder. I don't know. Second, third. I'm not sure.
First.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking the man's skills or his ability. He's a great wide receiver. Everybody knows Julio Jones is a phenomenal wide receiver. But at this point, with the cap hit, with all the youth on the team, what we're trying to build with the free agency signings and the restructurings of the contracts, all the stuff that we did in the free agency this past year, and all the backloading of contracts, and with the cap hit we're going to take next year, I don't see it. I don't think it's feasible. And I don't think it would be a wise decision. But I don't own a team. So that's why I'm doing a YouTube channel, and they are where they are. So I don't know. They could be looking at it at a totally different perspective.
He also said he wants to go somewhere that, he wants to win. And as much as we love the future, I mean, we haven't won seriously yet. So it's not like he would want to come here.
Well,
anyway.
Do you really think that Julio at 32 can last 17 games plus 3 playoff games? Do you really think he could?
I mean, no.
20 games, is he going to be there for every game? Do you really want to get that kind of?
It's unfortunate because he's before, I don't know, he's a classy guy. And he's a good guy. So
he is.
But yeah, it's unfortunate because you can't say that he lasts that long. So,
I mean, I'm sorry, but I want somebody that I brought in, or they got a chance of at least going 17 games. Now, is Galladay going to take 100% of the snaps? No. If I'm Garrett, I'm going to keep Galladay at 80% of the snaps. I'm going to keep Tony at like 65% of the snaps, only because he's young. We don't really know what his condition is. Galladay's got experience, so he should be able to know how to protect his body and stuff like that, where Tony's coming into the NFL, a whole different game. I don't know as if he knows how to catch and protect his body. So
that's what I'm worried about too, because he's one of those guys you can tell. I'm not saying he relies on his athleticism, but that's a big part of his game.
Right.
And he doesn't go out of bounds.
Right.
He fights through everything, and that's great to see the fight in him. But when you got I don't know, Levante David coming right at you, you gotta
Yeah.
think about the next play.
Yeah,
So,
Gotta make a business decision.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So
Because personally, I would rather see our guys if step out of bounds. I mean, okay, yeah, you got a chance to break it and go to the house, but you got a chance to do something too that I don't want to see. So just
yeah,
live for the next play.
definitely situational. Like you want to see someone do that when it's 2-minute drill, fourth quarter, but when it's like the first drive
Right.
of the game, you need to we got time to do that. So
Right.
and I
I
mean
mean,
he
you
did
gotta
have
have that balance of toughness and intelligence. You can't
yeah,
just be,
definitely.
jeopardizing your body if you know that you're an essential piece of this team and you're going to be needed. Then you
Yeah.
want to play as wisely as possible. But
You
at the
remember
same
that?
time, that competitor is in all of them guys, or they wouldn't be in the NFL. So that competitive spirit sometimes. As men, we have that ego, we have that drive. So
Yep.
sometimes in the heat of it, you'll make a careless decision. So, but I believe that's why we have the staff we have, the teachers that we have, and I'm optimistic about this season, man. I'm just so excited. I'm ready to see somebody get hit. I'm ready to see somebody take a little slant to the house, or come out the backfield and find a gap and hit the hole and take it to the house. I'm just ready to see some football, man. And now with an extra week,
I mean, I get the players don't like the extra week, but I'm loving it. As a fan, I just hope that we don't feel the repercussions with people getting hurt and stuff.
That's why I would like to see a 60-man roster with them if they're
Yeah.
thinking about going to even 18 weeks the following year, because supposedly that's the rumor mill.
yeah, because they just recently changed it from when you used to have the cuts at 75 and then 53. They got rid of the 75, so now you go from 90 whatever to 53 in one cut. You lose like four
No,
players.
they changed that.
I think but I think also, isn't it 55? Is it 55 now?
53.
Yeah,
Is it
55.
55? They added
Yeah,
two
Yeah,
more.
they
55.
increased it.
Yeah, but I think one of them has to be you have to carry one extra offensive lineman, so you have to carry 9 linemen or something like that.
And then you got your practice squad guys, and they got to suit up. Each of them got to suit up or something for a game.
Yeah, there's something. So
Play.
I don't know all that stuff.
Your practice squad guys got to get called up every so often and play, in order for you to keep them on the practice squad.
I'm excited
But-
though.
Yeah, as far as trading though, I don't foresee us trading even next year or re-signing or maybe a
Trading
key injury.
for?
What's that?
You don't see us trading for anybody?
No,
Okay.
no. I mean, we have so much depth. What do we need? I mean, if we hadn't gotten Galladay, I'd say yeah, make a shot at Jones, but we'd have that money. But man, we got a big, tall receiver. We got a speedy receiver. We got Shepard. We got Ross. We replaced, what's his name? Went to Minnesota last year.
Oh, Ryan Conley.
No, the defensive lineman.
Oh, Dalvin Tomlinson.
Tomlinson.
Yeah.
We replaced for him. Our defense basically stayed the same. We drafted an edge. We drafted a wide receiver, so now we got even more. We got another cornerback. Then we drafted that fourth rounder. That was the edge guy,
Ellerson.
right?
Ellison Smith. He's
And
a
he just
6'7", 260 pounder, but he was 230, so he
but I
put
don't
on
expect
30
him to
pounds
play.
quick. I don't
really
think he's
expect
going to
him-
get on the field very fast. No, I think he's going to have to perfect his. Now I will say he has a very quick step off the line. He gets
Yes.
off the ball quick, very quick. But I don't think he has enough power yet, or enough football intelligence at that position to use his leverage against these guys, because he just gained 30 pounds quickly, so he still doesn't know how to use that weight. He's
Right.
still used to using the 220-pound weight,
Right.
230 pounds that he's used to carrying around. So adding that 30 pounds on so quickly and not playing football for over 20 months, I don't think he knows how to use it properly yet and leverage himself. So I think he's going to be more of a project, but I think when he gets it down, he's going to be a problem because he has that OCU Manura type build.
But look at that. There again, look at the depth we've got on the defensive line, the linebacking core, the safety, the secondary.
Secondary is crazy.
Our
I think
whole
that's we talk about. Everyone talks about all the talking heads on ESPN. Washington has the best defense. I don't know about that secondary. I think people. I mean, the front
Thanks
seven
for
is
popping
nice.
in the stream, Johnny D. Sorry.
What's up, man? Oh, you're good. I don't trust that secondary all that much. I think that they
Really?
kind of rely on that front seven, and I think they could be had. Like if you're going up against a good O line against Washington's front seven, I think the secondary could be had.
Where's my shot?
That's not us because we have a complete team.
Right.
Did he say our secondary can be had?
No, Washington's.
Oh,
yeah.
Washington.
Because I was reaching for my shotgun, Rick.
No, because like everyone overlooks our defense. They say, "Hey, what's the best defense in the NFC East?" Oh, it's Washington, no question. I'm like, I don't know about that. Like the front seven's nice. Nobody's saying it's not nice, but the secondary is a big part of it too. Who's going to cover the number one guy? Because you can't have Chase Young covering Kenny Galladay at the end of the day. So.
I'm not worried about anybody in the NFC East but Jason Garrett. That is the only thing I am worried about in the NFC East. I'm not worried about Philly, Dallas, the Washington football team. I was about to call them by the name I grew up calling them.
Right.
But, I don't see them being a threat to us at all. Nobody can beat us but us.
Yeah,
I really believe that we can beat Kansas City. We're playing them in Arrowhead. If we beat Kansas City in Arrowhead, you can't tell me we're not making the playoff run. I don't care what anybody. If we beat Kansas City in Arrowhead, you can't tell me that we are not a complete team. Now we just need the chemistry to.
What week is that? You know what week that game is?
12.
That's week 12.
I'll tell you right now.
10 or
I know it's in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
I know we play Tampa right after the bye, week 10. So
listen, if we go to Kansas City and we beat Mahomes, if the New York Giants are not in the top 5 of the power rankings, somebody needs to be strangled. Week 8.
Week 8.
November 1st, Monday night game, November 1st.
I think that's a good time. That's a good time to play them, right? Kind of in the middle of the season,
Yeah.
Be acclimated to the players will have, they'll be halfway through the second year in the system. So it's a good time to play.
There's no reason the Giants, if we beat them, that we should not be in the top 5 power rankings, especially if we're 6-1, 5-2 going into that game.
I mean, the media, they're going to find a way to. Whatever.
Yeah, I get it, but
I get it.
Yeah, we play Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead week 8, Mac.
I just wanted to be competitive.
Mac was asking, wondering why I said 8. Week 8 is when we play Kansas City in Arrowhead.
Yeah, that's Pat. That's exactly what I'm saying, Pat. Like, the pass rush come, and they're like not a scary team. They don't have a corner like we do.
They don't have 2 corners like we do. Aaron Robinson and Rodarius Williams now.
Aaron Robinson's. I mean, technically speaking, he's a Bama quality back. He went to Alabama his freshman year, and I mean that's pretty exciting.
Look at our defense last year. We had a pretty good front 7. We had a good old line. We had decent linebackers. I mean, some guys got injured.
I think we've improved it exponentially with Azeez Ojulari, Fadio Dunderbo, Ryan Anderson.
Where I'm going with that is, look at who they picked on our defense. It was always cornerback number 2.
Yep.
They never went after Bradbury. So if you've got one guy that can't keep up or do his job, so to say, that's where Tony comes into play. That's where Galladay comes into play. That's where Slayton comes into play. You know, those guys have got to win that job off the line. They have to beat that guy off the line if they're going to send a blitz package after Daniel Jones. You keep burning them that way, they'll stop blitzing. They can't do it no more. Then you're only sending 4 guys, maybe 5, because you can't send any more because you got to cover the back end. And that's how we got beat. We couldn't blitz.
We won't have that problem now. I keep saying it. 17 linebackers. 17.
That's 17. That's like so every one in 4 players is a linebacker on the roster.
We have
right now
17.
How many do you think they're going to carry?
I'm 9? Thinking probably like 9. Yeah.
Or do you think we'll carry 10 because of the extra place?
Tomato, potato.
Or do we carry an extra cornerback or safety?
Well, I mean, we got McKinney, we got Peppers, and we got Logan Ryan at safety. So we have 3 safeties. We didn't sign another safety. We haven't got any undrafted safeties. We have 3 safeties, and then James Bradbury, Adoree Jackson, Rodarius Williams, Aaron Robinson,
Isaac Yadam,
Julian Love.
Well, Love could play safety too.
What about
and Darnay Holmes and Sam Beal? So we have 8 cornerbacks. 8
Not a bad
cornerbacks.
problem. Not a bad
safeties.
problem to have.
So 3 safeties and 17 linebackers. That's 20, and then 28 defensive players that are not on the front defensive line.
Sounds good to me.
Not
so
a
at the
bad
second
problem.
and third level of the defense, we have 28 damn good players.
Stack.
And we just need to trim the fat.
Quality depth. There's going to be a lot of training camp battles. I can't wait to start seeing that.
And that's how you make a good team.
Everybody wants week 1. I want to see training camp. I can't wait to hear some of these stuff that's going to come out of these, you know.
I like when there's fights amongst the training camp, you know, because you see the fight in your team. And then you never really know a guy until you fight him. And I know that sounds ancient and barbaric, but, you know, remember when you was kids and you'd get into a fight with a guy and you guys would beat each other half to damn death as a kid. And then the next day you were friends, right? And that fight, that guy usually became your best friend.
Right.
So you never really know a guy until you fight him. Then you see where his heart is at. And in these training camp battles, a lot of times an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman will go at it, and they'll have a fisticuff moment, and then they'll get together afterwards and be like, "Hey, why do you always beat me on this play? Because you do this."
Right.
Well, how do you always stop me from beating you on that play? Because you do this. You know, and they improve each other's game, and iron sharpens iron. And I believe that this team has that type of fight and that type of chemistry, and we are just gonna bust some ass. In the words of Michael Strahan, stomp that ass. I can't wait.
No, thank you, Joseph. We're trying. Who do you guys see that could lose their starting position?
Ooh, good question. I think Sterling Shepard's the easy answer. I'm gonna try to think of something.
And I like him so much, but I
think,
agree.
You don't think Aziz could steal a spot opening day 1?
Oh, from Lorenzo Carter or O'Shea Jimenez? Yeah. Easily. The guy had 4 forced fumbles in just 10 starts.
I just, you know, it's like,
and
okay,
2 of them, he recovered 2 of them, 1 for a 57-yard touchdown.
You know, how about maybe, I don't know, somebody on the line? I mean,
on the defensive line or the offensive
offense? Line? You know, offensive line. Because I don't think anybody's replaces Dexter.
I think Will Hernandez keeps his job. I think he's going to shock a lot of people.
Is he going to start right or left?
I think he's going to end up starting on the right.
And Lemieux on the left, or do you think somebody beats out
I think
Lemieux?
it's going to be Solder on the right, Will Hernandez,
I
Gates at center, Lemieux at left, and Andrew Thomas. I think that's how it's going to go.
I don't know. Pert looks like a mountain of a man lately after working out this off season. I don't think Solder's beating out Pert. I really don't.
Right.
I think it depends on Nate, how Nate took care of his body when he wasn't playing, because that's like we were mentioning about. There was a knock on Ellerson Smith, like he hasn't played football in a long time, and even though Nate Solder's a vet, when's the last time he played football? 2019.
Good point. Rick. Good point.
We'll see.
So that's another question: who's going to play next to Martinez? Tay Crowder?
No, man. No.
Are you going? Who you going to have next? Who you going to have next to Martinez?
Reggie Ragland.
You think Ragland's going to make it, or
Ryan Anderson maybe?
Yeah.
I don't think neither one of them played next to Blake Martinez. I think it's going to be one of the younger guys, Carter Coughlin.
Coughlin's edge though, isn't he?
I think he played next to Martinez a little bit.
He played some inside.
I mean, Crowder's got that. It should have 2 interceptions, but he definitely has one.
Crowder was Mr. Irrelevant, right?
Yeah, he was balling out, man.
It might be Tay Crowder. You're right.
That's crazy.
Because he came in and did his thing. I can't even lie. I got to tip my hat to the man.
That's.
The original question was who might lose their starting job, right?
Right.
I was thinking, I'm not sure whose job this person's going to take, but I'm really excited to see Aaron Robinson because I think he's got some dog in him, and I could imagine it's going to be like a lot of swapping, like.
So you think he'll beat out Darnay Holmes for that slot corner?
I think it depends on how they want to, do they want to rotate or do they just want to have one guy? But
Holmes never gave up a touchdown. I mean, 0 touchdowns last year for a rookie.
Yeah,
I mean, he played good, but
yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if it's a situational thing with them. I think early in the stream they were talking about who was Adam talking about Aaron Robinson covering like some big body receiver. I forgot who exactly he was talking about, but
what's his name for the Saints? Michael Thomas.
Oh, Michael Thomas. Yeah.
Thomas, or else it was Julio or somebody.
But I'm excited for those battles too. Because did you guys watch I was just watching him going up against Kadarius, the Senior Bowl reps, and even though Kadarius he separated, and then Aaron Robinson caught up, brought him right to the ground. I mean, man has no quit in him. So
right.
Oh no, you talking about the Kadarius Toney play?
That's going to be an interesting battle at camp. Those two going at
it. I keep seeing a clip of it. I think it was the Pro Day where Kadarius Toney burned Aaron Robinson on the route. And then Aaron Robinson caught back up, and it was in the end zone, and he deflected the pass at the last second. I was like, man, I
think he ran like a 4.37 though. That means Aaron Robinson is fast.
Yeah,
that's some speed. That dude can run.
He can fly. So
that's what you want at corner.
I'm excited about that.
Got to stay healthy. Got to get conditioned.
Yeah, that's why we have the depth. That's why we have the depth.
I'm glad.
I think they're building a monster in that building, man.
They're going to OTAs and getting this worked out, and that's why I'm happy to see that. I mean, we don't have to worry about guys getting injured.
Not really answering the original question, but I'm really another position group I'm looking forward to seeing who comes out of that is running back too. Obviously, Saquon's number 1.
Right.
But the thing is, though, like they're going to take it slow.
I think Corey Clement will win that out easy. Just because he's played 4 seasons in the league and he's going to know a little more than them younger guys, and he'll be able to edge them out on football IQ alone.
Yeah. And then, Devontae Booker, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not exactly sure what.
Right. I'm not 100% correct. I don't got no crystal ball, but I'm just giving my opinion.
Yeah. It's going to be exciting. Yeah, definitely what Joel's saying. Training camp's going to be crazy. And that's how you make your teams good. I mean, having a good player, having a good, wide receiver is not just good for the offense, it's good for the defense too, your own defense, because they got to go up against you at practice every day.
Yeah, but also the way that they separated the cuts this year, it's given the undrafted free agencies and the later round guys a chance to make the team because it doesn't have to happen as soon. Right. Did you guys see that on Twitter? Because they're doing it goes from 90 to 75 to I'll have to see if I can't find that on Twitter. I retweeted it, but
You said
Yeah, I'm
you were
wondering
looking
about
for it
this
where
too.
on Twitter?
yeah, I tweeted it out on Twitter, the schedule, how they're doing the cuts this year.
Oh, yeah. I need to get better at that. I don't look at my
Dude,
Twitter too much.
I've tweeted 5 times in my entire friggin' life.
Yeah, I'm now that is one thing I will say. Like all of this stuff, it's a miracle that I'm live streaming now and all of this because I'm telling you, I've never tweeted until recently.
I don't even have a Twitter account. I have nothing to tweet. I have nothing to say. I
Yeah,
have nothing to tweet.
it even sounds funny. I tweeted.
Yeah, I tweeted.
Yeah, sounds like you did something you should be embarrassed about.
That's right. That or the girlfriend should.
Yeah, so Mac's saying that he thinks it'll be a matchup with Holmes and Robinson, which I'm cool with.
Based on whatever matchup we get. Yeah, I mean I agree because based on the type of defensive scheme that we run. Remember we touched on this earlier. Was we're not gonna have a set defense. We're gonna adjust our defense based on whatever team we're playing and what their strengths are.
And that helps later in the season too. You're not leaning too much on one guy, and you have fresher legs for later in the season too.
It's a 90-man roster to start. 90-man roster to start training camp with cuts to 85 on August 17th, 80 to August 24th, and 53 on August 31st. That's how they're doing the cuts this year.
Okay.
Right on.
Because I remember it was a few years ago when they got rid of the traditional way, when they used to go from 93 to 75 and then from 75 to 53, and everybody was like, well, what the?
Yes.
You know.
Oh, I tweeted 8 times, by the way. It even gives you a freaking count on this damn thing. Oh my God.
Oh man. I appreciate everybody who's popped in the stream, who's commented, who showed love, man. We've been going for an hour and almost 45 minutes on our second live stream ever. So I am excited. I appreciate all the support. I thank you guys for calling in as soon as you did and riding with me the whole way. So you guys think we should rock out the next 18 minutes and make it a full 2 hours, or you guys want to call it a night? You think you can still make
it? Yeah, let's rock it out.
Yeah. I'm good. Hey, chat, you guys want us to stick around, or you all got something to do?
Yeah. I don't even know how many people are in here. Where do I look for that?
All right. You got 12 people watching right now. 13.
Where do you see that? Where do you see that at?
I went to your live feed page. I got the StreamYard and then the stream up. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, that's how I do it. I cheat.
I think everyone. I know the next game.
People are just starting to come in. They haven't been here. Salute, Mr. Finesse.
I cheat. Finesse is a good guy.
I know the Nick game is on right now. So.
Yeah, chat. Type in your questions.
Yeah.
There you go. I hope Benjamin makes it at tight end.
Join the stream or leave a thumbs up. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Ring that bell.
In regards to Kelvin Benjamin, I hope he makes the team. If the coaching staff believes he can help. I don't know. I don't want to get too hung up on like he was a first round pick. I'm sure that we wouldn't care as much if he wasn't a first round pick,
Well, here's the thing. Okay,
the chat is answering the question. Go 2 hours. Go 2 hours.
Here's the thing with Benjamin. Okay, did you guys watch any of who is it? Bobby Skinner does the offensive line and he does the plays.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys see how many times that the right ends were supposed to block and missed?
Yeah.
Tulolo missed a lot of blocks. Look,
Yeah.
If Benjamin can come in there with Rudolph, run a 12 personnel package, give us 2 tight ends, you don't know if one's blocking, one's going out for a pass. You don't know if they're both pulling to block. If we can replace Ingram with Benjamin in there and send Rudolph out, he might be old and slow, but the guy can catch. He only dropped 2 passes in the last 5 years.
He's short-handed.
So if Benjamin can block, I'm all for him making this team. He's got the size, he's got the height, and apparently he was okay in Carolina blocking as a wide receiver. So if he can just do that one job and do it well, because that there were holes. Oh, you watch that game film. There were holes. Goldman should have been 90 yards to the other end of the field.
But he's no Saquon Barkley.
It doesn't matter. You could have drove a truck through some of them if that one guy, instead of being a turnstile too low, if he would have been brick wall too low, and let the
I just
freaking
put the
guy.
link in the stream again so guys can call in. Sorry, Joe. Keep it going. Yeah, that was horrible blocking.
So, look, if Benjamin can come in here and make a block with Rudolph, because Rudolph can block, we know that. And then run 3 tight ends. Who's going out for the pass? We know it's Ingram, but
Mr. Finesse says if the O-line plays exactly the same as it did the second half of last year and the Giants offense still can't score, do we move from Garrett or Jones?
See, I don't see the O-line. I mean, obviously the O-line improved the second half of the season. I just don't hold that as like the standard that we want. But I mean, if we can't score, somebody's got to go. And I think,
well,
if I don't know how to answer who I think would be the person that would be easiest to point the finger at. Because is Daniel Jones turning the ball over or what? You know?
Yeah.
I think if this is the situation and Daniel Jones is turning the ball over, he's probably out.
That's what I was going to say is, what's the reason for not scoring? Is it because of play calling? Is it because guys aren't running their routes correctly? Is it because of drop balls? Is it because of pressure up the middle? Is it because of somebody didn't do their assignment or didn't know the play? Or, was it a penalty? Was it, all those things come into the factors of whether we score a touchdown or not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if Daniel Jones is fumbling and turning the ball over, yeah, you know what? Which I don't think he's going to do.
Yeah.
I think he's improved and worked on that too much. I mean, this guy is ripped now. I mean, he does, man. That last picture, oof, oh my God, I do not want to meet him in a dark alley. I would say
him down.
I would say that if we're not scoring touchdowns, I would say Garrett, but the easy way to figure that out is week 4 or 5, replace Garrett with a different coach, have somebody else call plays, and then because now you're really going to know what's going on, what the factor is.
I think the turnover is for like.
And then that decides
Jones,
whether or not, because Garrett's going to be gone.
Yeah. I think if Daniel Jones limits the turnovers, I just can't imagine like even if the O-line play was static from how it was last year, like it doesn't improve at all. It just is what it is now. I just can't see us not improving the scoring. It might not be to where we want, but like we kind of were at the bottom already. So that actually would infuriate me if Tuto's here.
Yeah. Tuto. Ciao, my Giants paisano, G Nation. How you doing, fellas? Great Giants content and show as always, paisano. Grazie mille.
Grazie.
Grazie mille.
What a guy.
And then the next comment under that, Max,
that's
right?
Thanks 1,000
only had
for
3
those of
turnovers.
you who don't know. That's thanks 1,000 times.
Yeah, Max, exactly right. I mean, half of his turnovers were from Evan Ingram tipping it up to the defenders. I mean,
yeah. A lot of his interceptions weren't due to where he placed the ball. It was due to it being tipped. I will give you that.
Yeah.
But then Mr. Finesse is like, I don't want Jones to come back or Garrett to come back because he didn't see the potential in Jones. Look, I get it. A lot of us aren't happy with Garrett, but can you really put Daniel Jones in a third offense in 3 years to give him
No,
a fair
that's the
shot?
only reason.
That's
That's
failure.
the only reason that I've agreed and haven't made that much noise about him being offensive coordinator. Because as you guys see, I'm in the locker room. I go up to the front office and give him a piece of my mind. But
I got the brick wall. I got the brick wall right there.
But they brought in like a whole. I mean, the coaching staff is a team in and of itself. There's like how many coaches are there? There's like
27?
20 plus coaches or something. Like
no,
total.
he has hired teachers. This is what I'm telling you. That's why I am sold on what he is doing, because he knows that not everybody learns the same way. So he's brought in people to teach on every level until he has the players knowing what they need to know. And then I think he'll trim the fat on some of the staff and let the new players learn from the veterans as they go forward. But I think he's brought in a bunch of teachers specifically to address fundamentals and sound, smart football. Because the little things, if you look at it, it's like not to go on another subject, but boxing, right? I love boxing. I'm a huge boxing fan. And a lot of people don't pay attention. They think it's all about the hands. Boxing is more about footwork than anything you do with your hands. But the average fan doesn't understand that. So it's the little things that a fan doesn't really pay attention to, that a professional teacher, a coaching staff member, a teacher at a position coach will fine tune for a player and get down to the little minuscule movements and saving time and not misusing moves, because a lot of times you can move and mismanage time by moving the wrong way. A simple move can save you a bunch of steps. So it's them little fine-tuning fundamental tips that these coaches are teaching these young players, and I think that's going to be all the difference.
I know this is a Giants podcast. I have one question for Lou about boxing. What do you think is going to happen when the Floyd Mayweather fights that YouTuber Logan Paul?
Floyd
Same
Mayweather's
thing
gonna
that happens
mess him
every
up.
time Floyd fights.
What's that?
He wins.
How do you think he's going to win?
Same way he always does.
Defense.
He's going to dip and roll away. When they're in close, he's going to hold the guy's arm, and he's going to score with shots that might not knock the guy out, but they score. And you got to give him this. He might not be the most exciting fighter to watch, but he's leaving the game with all his senses intact. And at the end of the day, that's the name of the game, because you don't want to go in there and sacrifice yourself to become a millionaire and then can't have a conversation. I mean, look at oh my God, what was his name? Philly fighter. He was a great fighter, but he couldn't beat his own ego.
A Philly fighter?
Yeah, he's a Philly fighter.
Lightweight, middleweight.
No, he was
heavyweight.
Meldrick Taylor. If you watch an interview of Meldrick Taylor was a great fighter. He can't talk. He can't
Look what
talk.
happened. Look what happened to Ali and Frazier and all them.
Yeah, so you got to give the man his credit for protecting himself, making sure he got the most money he can get for his fights, and he fought some of the best fighters in the league. You can't say that he hasn't. I mean, he fought Pacquiao, he fought De La Hoya, he fought Miguel Cotto, he fought UFC fighters, for Christ's sake. So whether you like the guy or not, I mean, he wins.
I used to follow it in the 80s and 90s, back when, I don't know, different sport, different time, different rules, different, like a lot of things in sports now. There's just so much. It's not what it used to be. I mean, God, Ray Mancini stepped into a ring and his hands were so damn fast you couldn't follow him on a TV in slow motion. That's right. Ray killed a man in the ring. That's why he retired.
Yeah.
I mean, you watch Sugar Ray versus who was that? No Mas.
Roberto Duran. Manos de Piedra.
Oh, what a fight that
Hands
was.
of Stone. The first one?
You ever see that video on Netflix, Hands of Stone? It's a documentary about
life story. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a damn good documentary. I highly recommend that, guys. If you like any type of boxing, that tells the backstory of everything.
Thank you very much, Tudo. I greatly appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. Floyd isn't a fighter, he's a boxer. That right there, Chavez and Taylor, that Meldrick Taylor fight. He was beating the hell out of Chavez for that fight, but he didn't have no power in them punches.
Right.
Chavez was laying leather on that man. And you can see it at the end of the fight. They stopped the fight with 2 seconds left in the last round, if I'm not mistaken. I think there was 2 seconds left in the fight. The only round you can be saved by the bell is the 12th round. But when he dropped that man and he stood up, man, I think it was Joseph Steele was the ref, the good ref. He looked at the guy. He looked at Meldrick Taylor. He said, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Guys, both his eyes were shut. He didn't answer. He called it off.
Right.
And everybody was mad. Lou Duva, he robbed him. He shouldn't have stopped the fight. He should have gave him the extra 2 seconds. But if he just got hit one more time, that man could have died in the ring. That referee did the right thing. And if you look at it, at the end of the fight, Chavez didn't have a mark. He got hit 500 times in that fight with Meldrick's most solid shots, and he didn't have a mark. And Meldrick Taylor looked like he ran into a brick wall. And the man was talented. He had a great, great skill set. He was a great boxer. If he'd have just stood away and tapped Chavez, he'd have won that fight hands down. But because he had that heart that he wanted to stay in there and beat Chavez in the middle and show everybody that he was great, now the man can't talk. And that wasn't the only fight that did it. But after that, he lost something in the ring and he had something to prove. So every fight after that, he didn't box no more. He stood in there and tried to fight
toe to toe. Yeah,
he took punishment for years that he shouldn't have, and it was sad. So that's why I say you got to give Floyd his props, because he's leaving the game on his own accord, and he's leaving with all his senses intact. But this is a football channel. Let's get back to the Giants.
I know. I like talking boxing too now.
But yeah, I love boxing. Yeah.
That was. Yeah, I mean, there ain't much left to cover though, Lou. I mean, we talked about everything: the trades, the depth, what's going to happen.
Into some boxing.
Happen in the future. I mean, we gotta.
We'll have stuff to talk about tomorrow with the OTAs and media.
Yeah,
I probably won't make one of them videos. I'll watch whatever videos you guys make about that, because everybody's gonna be jumping on those videos. And if you guys haven't noticed, I try to do something different than what everybody else is doing.
I'll probably do the same thing. I'm probably gonna go down to the fishing hole and shoot a video.
There you go. Yeah.
No,
you gonna use some crayfish as bait? No.
Huh?
You ever use crayfish as bait? Crawfish?
Oh, crawfish. Yeah, I use them as bait sometimes. They're too expensive for me, though. I go out and catch worms.
You buy them, you go catch them yourself, and then take them back and use it as bait.
Well, see, I live in
crawfish.
Well, New York State is really particular on bait. You have to have certified bait. You actually have to go to the bait store, and if the DEC officer asks you for a receipt, you got to show it.
I'm just talking junk, bro. I don't know nothing about
it. No, there's laws that stop me from doing that. I used to do that as a kid. I'd go get my own bait, go out to the lake and catch bullheads on crawfish all the time, but you can't do it no more. It's got to be certified. The damn rules of DEC, but it's for invasive species and shit.
Great fight, Hagler and Hearns. Best 3 rounds in boxing history.
Didn't they have a rematch? Hagler Hearns too?
Yeah. Gotti and Ward was a good fight. Yeah. That was Mickey Ward, right? Mickey Ward and Arturo Gotti. Yeah. They fought 3 times. Every 5 punches Taylor hit Chavez with didn't do half damage each punch Taylor was landing. Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
close
see?
it up. Just getting to everybody's comments.
Yeah,
If
that's
Taylor-
all right. Everybody else wanted to talk boxing too, Lou.
Man, I didn't know all of you guys were
You gotta
boxing
have a-
fans.
You gotta have a boxing live stream
Hey.
alongside this one of these days.
All right, all right.
Like I said, I
won't pop.
remember.
I'm not gonna be
the old
popping
days.
in though. I obviously I don't know I don't know much about boxing. I only ask because of the.
Listen,
I mean,
Hey, well, people like you here. Okay,
I-
your company is appreciated. People comment
Hey.
saying that this show is fire. So
Yes.
you're holding your own.
I used to watch the Olympics boxing just for that, the Summer Olympics. I remember when
Yeah.
Holyfield got disqualified because he threw a punch, and the ref had so causedly stopped the fight. He threw a punch and got DQ'd, and he only won bronze. He should have won gold.
Thank you, Mr. Finesse.
That drove me nuts. Ooh.
Time for G Nation to come to Palermo, Italy for some ice cold Peronis. Most delicious Italian food and most beautiful girls. Homemade cannolis. Forget about it. Well, I would love to enjoy the food, but I have the most beautiful lady already.
Yeah, same here. I've 27 years, been married, be 28 in August.
hey Tutu, I'm on my way. I'm only 26. I don't have anything.
Forget about it.
Oh,
Oh man. Thanks everybody popping in the stream.
yes. Thanks for what'd you get? 19 likes, I think, didn't you?
Did I? I don't know. I
Yeah,
still don't
you
know
got
how
19 likes. How about that?
I tell you, I'm new to all this live streaming stuff, but I'm enjoying it. I appreciate all the support from the community so far. Thank you guys for popping in and making the show as special as it is. I appreciate all your
Thanks
comments.
for having us.
And I will be gladly popping in whenever you guys go live if you'll have me. So
No
thank you
problem.
to all the Giants fans and look forward to tomorrow for the OTAs.
Yes,
Till next time,
definitely.
guys. Now, I don't know how to close
Remember
this
the
out.
forest. Save a tree. Eat a beaver.
Yeah, hey, I can eat a peach for hours. Oh, we're gonna get shut down.
You can't. You're not monetized yet.
They'll shut you down anyway.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
This is the cancel culture. Pretty soon we're gonna be paying for air. All
I'm
right,
gonna
guys.
behave on that note.
Huh?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna behave on that note.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you, man.
All right.
Thank you.
You guys
Catch
have a
you
good night.
later.